Hey, what's up? I'm Liz and this is Blitzday DIY. Today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to install Linux Ubuntu onto your hard drive as your main operating system, and also how to set up Steam for gaming. Now, there are a lot of tutorials on how to do this, but if you're like me and you're a visual learner and like to see things step by step, then hopefully this will be helpful. First thing they have to do is create some bootable media to install Ubuntu. This is similar to creating bootable media for a Windows install or other operating system. First, navigate to the Ubuntu website to download the ISO file for the latest version of Ubuntu. I'll link this down in the description. Next, download Rufus, a free disk imaging software. I'll link this in the description as well. Rufus is one of the industry standards for creating bootable media and computer images. I actually use it at work to image Windows machines. But once it's downloaded, open it up and plug in a flash drive. Make sure you back up anything that's on that flash drive, since this drive will be erased to make way for the Ubuntu install. Now in Rufus, select the flash drive in the device dropdown. Then select Partition Scheme for UEFI from the Target System Type dropdown. The last thing you'll have to do is select the Ubuntu ISO that you just downloaded. Where it says create a bootable disk image, click on the little icon that looks like a CD. Then you'll open up the Ubuntu ISO in the File Explorer. After you've loaded in the Ubuntu ISO, it's time to start the image process by clicking Start. You'll be reminded that everything on the flash drive will be erased. Press OK and let it do its thing. After it finishes, close out Rufus and eject your flash drive from your computer. Now you're going to move to the computer that you want to install Ubuntu on. Using this method, similar to the flash drive, all information on the hard drive will be erased. So only use this method if you want to be running Ubuntu exclusively on your hard drive and also have no other important files on the drive that aren't backed up somewhere else. Now reboot the Ubuntu-bound computer and press F12 or F11 to get into boot options, depending on your motherboard. This may vary, but I'd say 90% of motherboards use F11. There should be a drop-down menu or a listing of drives that you can navigate with the arrow keys. Navigate to the flash drive option with the UEFI in the description. If you choose the wrong one, don't panic. After the computer reboots, it will prompt you to either select a proper boot drive or you'll just boot into your pre-existing operating system, in which case you'll just reboot and try again. Now, assuming you selected the proper drive, you should see a purple screen show up with a dialog box saying that it's preparing to install Ubuntu. Make sure to check off the two boxes for downloading updates and installing third-party software. As you can see, third-party software is mainly software to play media. If you're a beginner of Ubuntu, I recommend having that. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of configuration to do that you may find to be a bit confusing. Click Continue, and then next you'll be prompted for the installation type. Select Erase Disk and install Ubuntu. Again, this means that everything on your hard drive will be erased, so either back up or choose a blank drive. Also, to ensure that you're selecting the correct drive, I'd recommend only having the drive that you want Ubuntu installed on connected to your motherboard. Gives you just a little bit of extra insurance. Now click Install to proceed. A dialog box will pop up showing you the disk drive paths, and if everything looks okay, click Continue. Next, you'll be asked for your location. This is mainly for time zone. Again, click Continue. Then select your keyboard layout for your preferred one, and once you're all set, again, click Continue. Next is going to be your login details of your computer. Make sure your password is strong, but also easy to type and remember, because if you require a login, you'll be typing it a lot, especially in the terminal. Once you're all set, again, click Continue. The install is now off and running. Once the install is complete, you'll be prompted for a reboot. Unplug the flash drive and then reboot into your computer. You should boot into your new Ubuntu install on your hard drive that's connected to your motherboard. Now the last thing I'm going to go over in this tutorial is installing Steam. I'm going to show you how to do this through the terminal, which is really how you should install programs like this in Linux. So navigate to the terminal and type in sudo add-apt-repository multiverse. You may get a message that this is already installed, which is fine. Next, type in sudo apt-get install Steam. If you've played around with the Raspberry Pi at all, then this will look very familiar. And don't worry, I'll link an article detailing this process down in the description. It also has instructions in case this doesn't work. Press enter and the install should begin. You may be prompted to say yes a few times, but other than that, it's fairly low maintenance. After it finishes up, you can open Steam and then log in as you normally would. This will take you to the desktop app, which is set up exactly the same as its Windows counterpart. If you go to your library, there will be your download options for all of your games that have Linux ports. You can start downloading those right away, and you'll be gaming on Ubuntu in no time. And that's how you set up Ubuntu Linux as your main operating system and install Steam for gaming. It's a fairly simple process. I hope that this shows you that getting started with Linux is very accessible and not as scary as it's often made out to be. But that's going to do it for this video. If you'd like to toss me a thumbs up and leave any questions or comments down below. Find me on social media. Links are in the description, as well as materials I discussed in this video for reference. Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing for more content like this. Next up, I'm going to be doing some Ubuntu benchmarks on the Ryzen budget system and comparing the numbers to the Windows benchmarks. So if you're into numbers like I am, you won't want to miss that. But until next time, this has been Blitz City DIY.